Hi everyone. Today I'm going to share a little bit about my journey learning Spanish. Because I'm currently in my final semester of university, so I've been taking a lot of courses related to statistics, coding, mathematics. But I thought, why not do something that unleashes my more creative side? Perhaps doing a language was something that could unleash my creative side and could come in handy in the future. So I chose to do Spanish. So how has learning Spanish been for me, you may ask? It's been quite an interesting experience, I would say. But it's also a bit tricky, especially because there are certain nouns that are more gender neutral. For example, in English, you would just call a teacher. If it's a man or a woman, you still call them a teacher. But in Spanish, you would call a male teacher professor, and you call a female teacher profesora. Another example would probably be about friends. So in English, you would just call a person, "Hey, my friend, how are you doing?" And in Spanish, you have different connotations for different genders. For example, for a male friend, it will be amigo. So you'll be like, "Hola, mi amigo." As contrast to a female friend who will be, "Hola, mi amiga." And there are also certain pronunciations of names and all that sound a little bit different from English. For example, the letter J is pronounced similar to H in Spanish, and maybe someone's name would be come across if you read it in English as Juan, Juan, is actually pronounced as Juan in Spanish. And if you have two letter L's in a word together, it's actually pronounced as the letter Y. So the famous dish in Spain is pronounced paella. It's not paella, it's paella. So on top of these differences, I would say that the biggest lesson I've learned from learning Spanish is that learning a language is not as easy as you think. Because we have been ingrained to speaking a certain language our whole life, like for me, English and some Chinese, though I wouldn't say my Chinese is that great, but every language is different, so it's important to be open-minded and try to learn and appreciate the different things of different languages. Another reason why I decided to pick up Spanish is because I felt that learning Spanish would help me be a useful skill, and you never know when these skills can actually come in handy. For example, maybe I might go to Spain or a Spanish-speaking country to vacation, or maybe I might just meet someone from a Spanish-speaking country on the street and be able to connect over these kinds of things. Another thing is I've been trying to unlearn this fear of failure and fear of making mistakes, which is also partially why I'm making this video, because the truth is that no one has it figured out at the start. And sometimes it's all about the journey, it's all about making mistakes and learning instead of worrying about what if this, what if that. It has to be perfect. But sometimes your desire for perfection is honestly your biggest enemy. Because if you desire to be perfect, you'll never start and you won't get anything done. So far, it is interesting, but it's also a bit of a struggle, with both quite a bit of similarities with English, but also a fair share of differences. But overall, I think it's a good idea to embody this spirit of not being afraid to try, not being afraid to make mistakes, and to get comfortable with that level of discomfort. So yeah, I'm happy I've made this choice, and I hope I can do more things that perhaps would push me out of my comfort zone and perhaps um, let me grow and do things that perhaps might help me or benefit me in unexpected ways. I never know when I might use Spanish or if I will, but let's see. Let's just go with the flow and enjoy life.